Breaking news from the NFL into the Fanfare newsfeed.
Breaking news out of the NFL, the Chicago Bears trading receiver Chase Claypool and a 2025 7th-round draft pick to the Miami Dolphins in exchange for a 2025 6th-round draft pick.
Well. Chase Claypool is now going to be on the Miami Dolphins. Excuse me for a second. I'm sorry, I had to do that. Every time I talk about a Golden Domer, I've got to break out into the Notre Dame fight song. I can't tell you how pumped I am about Chase Claypool joining the Miami Dolphins. Since I've been following this kid for years when he played at Notre Dame, I feel like I know his game. Let's talk about the positives of Chase Claypool. Currently, the Miami Dolphins have no wide receiver anywhere like him. Chase is 6'4", 240 pounds. He runs a 4.4. He has a 40-inch vertical leap. He's got great hands, and he's a great blocker. Actually, he loves to block. Physically, this kid isn't guardable. I mean, he's so good at catching the ball, he loves to challenge cornerbacks and go up for the pass. And unlike all of the other Miami Dolphins wide receivers, this guy can block. And when I say block, I mean he can put people on their ass. And the Dolphins got him for a song. All they traded was a 6th-round pick in 2025. As far as I'm concerned, this is a no-brainer. This kid can be an absolute star with the Miami Dolphins.
Miami Dolphins said, you know what, Chase Claypool, it can work here. Yeah. Chase Claypool, who is most recently with the Chicago Bears, who went 0-10 with the Chicago Bears, 170-some yards, I believe, in his entire stint with the Chicago Bears, after leaving the Pittsburgh Steelers, where he had a remarkable rookie campaign, where he was going on people's heads, and we learned of the nickname Mapletron, and we thought this guy was going to be the next guy to take over the wide receiver position. And then we don't know what the hell happened. It's kind of all, it went a completely different direction. We think he's a nice guy. We think he's a good guy, and he just started to not work at all in Pittsburgh, so much so they trade him to Chicago. Chicago celebrates because they think they got a number 1 wide receiver. We got the rookie Chase Claypool in, and he gets, and we don't know what the hell happened. It did not work. He's big enough. Yes. He's strong enough. Right. He's fast enough. We've seen him catch a football before. Yes. So he can catch a football. Just for some reason, it has not worked as of recent history for him. Him going to McDaniel's offense. That'll probably script some things for him to get the ball in his hands and be able to do some stuff. Do you think it works with him in Miami, or do we need to just think that Chase Claypool is dead as an NFL player?
I think if it can work anywhere, it can work in Miami.
Now for the negative. Chase isn't quite as bad as Antonio Brown, but he's been heading down the Antonio Brown highway. Lately, he's been a really troubled young man. Nobody questions his physical talents and his potential. He can be an absolute star. But now, someone needs to find out what's going on upstairs with Chase Claypool.
Well, this is something that the Chicago Bears wanted to do. Anytime you have a guy who's a healthy scratch, but you also tell him don't show up to the game, it's more than about his play on the field. It's about who he is in the locker room. And I think that was very similar for Chase Claypool when leaving the Pittsburgh Steelers, even though he's an extremely talented wide receiver. Now, if you're the Miami Dolphins, you take a flyer on him and you hope that you can get a body type, you can add speed to your team that you don't necessarily have in that form. You have a guy like a Jalen Waddle, you have Tyreek Hill, we know what Achane and Raheem Mostert are in the backfield. Now having that big body guy that can go up and make some of those difficult catches in tough positions and at the goal line, that's what you have at Chase Claypool. And if it doesn't work, nothing's lost. You're still a great team, you're still an amazing offense, but if it does, you've picked up a very talented player for very little.
RC, I gotta say this on national television. I gotta let everybody know this. I saw Chase Claypool in Arizona right before the Super Bowl. Chase Claypool, please listen to me, brother. Please listen to me. This ain't about football. RC, Bart Scott, Chris Canty, everybody know you can play. We saw your skills in Pittsburgh before you got traded to Chicago. You are developing a very bad reputation. If you are being moved out of Pittsburgh, and now they sit up there and you are literally a healthy scratch, as RC just articulated. That is not about your game. It is about your character. And all you got to do is Google and research history and find out there are plenty of players, some more talented than you, some who were Hall of Famers, who no one wanted in their locker room for whatever reason. That is the reputation you are developing. And if you don't turn it around, this could very well be your last stop. My brother, whatever it is going on up here, please get it together so you can shine and show the world what you can do as a football player. Because if you keep getting moved, the message is going to be indelibly sent. You're not somebody they want in the locker room, and they're not going to care about how you can play. They're not going to want you around them. RC, if I'm wrong, please let me know.
Nope.
Here's why I'm excited about Chase joining the Miami Dolphins. He'll join two other Notre Damers in Liam Eichenberg and Durham Smythe, and they both know him. He'll be around a Christian man like Tua Tagovailoa. He'll be around a strong Christian man like Raheem Mostert. He'll be around a strong Christian man like Teron Armstead. He'll be around a strong Christian man like Robbie Chosen. He'll be around a strong Christian man like Jalen Waddle. And most of all, and definitely not least, he'll be with a coach who understands everything about having a troubled past. These strong men can help Chase Claypool exercise whatever demons he's dealing with right now. If there's any team in the league that can help Chase Claypool get his mind right, it's the Miami Dolphins. If there's any locker room in the NFL that can support Chase Claypool night and day, it's the Miami Dolphins locker room. I have full confidence that he will have every resource available to him to get his head back in the game. And if he does, watch out. As I said, there's no one on the roster like him. 6'4", 240, 4.4, 40-inch vertical, great hands, loves to block. Oh my God. And he was basically free. There is no downside here, and the upside is stunning. Trust me, this kid's a player. Prepare to be amazed when you see what he can do. I couldn't help it. Let me know what you think about Chase Claypool joining the Miami Dolphins, and if you can see his upside potential, go ahead and give me a comment. Talk to you soon. Fins up.
My brother, whatever it is going on up here, please get it together so you can shine and show the world what you can do as a football player. Because if you keep getting moved, the message is going to be indelibly sent. You're not somebody they want in the locker room, and they're not going to care about how you can play. They're not going to want you around them. RC, if I'm wrong, please let me know.
Nope.
Is anybody catching on to this Barry guy?